Watch them grow, perceive, devote. This is the seed, light the show. Watch them grow.
Hello, beautiful Tauruses. Welcome to your August soul session. And just in case you were wondering, this is your, spirituality and personal development reading and whatnot or whatever. So we're going to go ahead and start with an overall energy from the Starseed Oracle, which is my favorite deck at present, to get a sense of the energies you guys are going to be dealing with this month. And then we're going to go ahead and jump right into your cards. So we're going to ask Spirit to give us clear and direct guidance for my Tauruses. Anything they need to know, anything of utmost importance, I ask that come to the forefront in this here reading, my friend. And as always, I thank you in advance, Spirit, because I know you're good for it. So overall energy for my Taurus peoples for the month of, August. Why is this familiar? My autofocus on my lens just be doing its own thing, so I don't know if it's going to be clear. I tried. Whale and Orca Elder, share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. You know what I'm saying? So Taurus, it looks like for you guys, the month of August is going to be, I don't want to necessarily say a solitary month, but I would say more of a reflective month, meaning that it's discovering your voice or rediscovering your voice. It's more or less getting the sense that, I don't know if you guys have been spending too much time with other people, or if you've just had a great deal of time that's spent, working or just taking care of priorities. But I feel in the sense of all of you guys doing this, it's almost like a loss in a sense of a connection with yourself, or how do I want to say that? Like almost from ground zero. Like, what is the word I'm looking for here? It's like I'm seeing it as like almost like a pod or something that you'd plug something onto. So whatever word that would be for that, like kind of like the thing you put your phone on to charge it. But it's almost like you guys having spent so much time away from that it's kind of getting disconnected a tad bit. And I think the important thing is this is reminding me of a card that came out in you guys' daily reading some weeks ago. It was the Judgment in the reverse. And I was more or less talking about like ignoring messages from Spirit or being out of alignment and kind of getting caught into, different little things that you guys had going on, in so many words. And I feel more or less that's being rectified this month, if you will. Because I feel the source of you guys' issues is the fact of it's almost like losing touch with your why, if you will, what you're doing, why you're doing it, and things of the sort, or just circumstance-wise, your life just becoming more about your job or more about your family and feeling as if something on some way is being neglected. But the important thing in all of this is coming back to yourself, because that is the gold mine, if you will. That's the place that you guys would want to speak from. So I do feel this much like, I think it was Cancer I did before you guys. And with their reading, it talked a lot about purpose and calling and things of the sort. I feel that same sense for you guys as well. Now, the central energy that you guys have is Healer of the Angels. This is challenged by walking away. Our past influence, we have the Thinking Woman in the reverse. Underlying energy, we have Patience. Above energy, we have the Temple Path in the reverse. And going forward into September, we have the Garden and the Gate. Now, this is very interesting. So what this is saying to me, Taurus, is the whole point of why all of this stuff is happening. And then for those of you who may feel, I don't want to just say some type of way, but those of you who feel really lost, really stuck this month, this is a dual message. I feel for those of you who just feel kind of off kilter, like kind of, again, with the pod thing, Spirit, I don't know how to even say what it is that I'm seeing, but let's just say disconnected. Those of you who feel like blocked, it's because of a disconnect that's happened. And I feel those of you who, have been on this path for some time now, it's just a need to reconnect to ground zero. For those of you who are who are fairly new on the path, there's an importance to know this month that you're supported and you have an ultimate end and a purpose and a goal that you're heading towards, even if you don't know it. And it's important for you to know that even if no one is supporting you in your everyday life, there's an entire spiritual team that is in support of you all, right? Now, those of you who are in helping professions, or those of you who feel as if you have a calling, I feel this is more or less the trumpet sound for you all to align with this. However, I feel that the biggest challenge for you guys this month, and has been for some time, is knowing that there's something that needs to be released and sacrificed in order for you to go in this direction, right? So if I were to jump ahead a little bit, it's more or less saying, oh man, I gotta jump back because that just got real. Okay, so anyhow, so with this challenge, Taurus, it's something that you guys know you have to sacrifice. It's something that you have to walk away from in order for you guys to get to where it is that you're going. However, I feel that you guys know that on some level or another. It's just not wanting to accept it. And I feel that that's where this whole temple path comes in our above energy, because it's more or less the disconnection starts with your heart space. How I always say about the Four of Pentacles card, it's more or less if it's something that you've grown an affinity towards, or even if it's something that you fear releasing, right? It's going to be attempting to find a myriad of different pathways or options to not do what it is that you already know that you need to do. You know what I mean? And with the thinking woman being the card that's following you guys in from July energy, what this is really saying to me is that there's a call for you guys to rise to a higher state of being and to shift and to be different and to transform. But it's almost like, and please don't be mad at me, Taurus, I'm a Taurus too, so if I talk about you, I'm talking about myself. But there's a sense of being foolish. You know what I mean? It's like making decisions or moving towards things or trying to dodge the inevitable, if you will. So it's almost like a sense of avoidance. It's like being kind of off kilter from your home base says to me, yes, it can be through being busy. It can be through socializing and dating someone or whatever it is that you guys have going on in your life. It could be something like that happened where you didn't make the conscious decision to say, I'm disconnecting type of deal. But it's just the fact that it happened. But I feel the reluctance to go within, like why one allowed these people, situations, circumstances into their space, because it was not wanting to face something that you already know, right? So it's more or less earth energy grounding with a particular stance, and then everything in your life takes the form of that stance that you've taken, in so many words, and then ultimately leads you to shutting off your emotional space, shutting off, your connection with spirit, whatever, and ending up in this mindset of trying to force the river in one particular area. So this is something I've said to people, can't remember who, I think it was in a daily, not really sure, about I said, I used an example of a job with Google. Like, you finish from college and the only place you ever wanted to work was Google, so you only apply for jobs at Google and you don't apply for jobs anywhere else, right? And you kind of hold yourself back and you don't move forward with anything else because you're so fixated on getting this job at Google, right? And it's not to say that you won't get the job, but it's just not fair to yourself to cut off all of other opportunities because you're trying to drive home the specific one, because there is something that is better for you out there, but it's not allowing yourself to see it. So that's more or less what it is that I'm seeing from my Taurus people. It's having your heart and mind set on this one particular pathway, and there may be blocks that you're experiencing in reference to this one particular pathway, but it's not opening oneself up to see other opportunities, or even saying that other opportunities don't even exist because nothing outside of this one particular path exists to you. So the whole thing that this month is about is you guys taking this opportunity to finally face what it is that you've known for some time that you need to face, that going within, that reconnecting, that really looking at everything, sorting things out, trying to, get clear on where you got off track or where you need to kind of beef things up a little bit more. And then it's like coming to the realization, leaving out of August and going into September, that this is something that could have been done some time ago, which I feel like you guys knew. And the only person that was ever holding you back from all of the possibilities that truly existed was yourself, because it was a refusal to accept anything other than that one thing that you really desired, or that one particular thing that you guys feared letting go of or walking away from, if you will. So this month is a very reflective month. It's a deep diving month. It's a month in which you guys are going to, well, I mean, I'm not going to say you're going to have to release anything. It's totally up to you whether you do or you don't. But it's kind of turning back on everything that's been shut off, whether that's accidentally by circumstance or it's intentionally because it's not wanting to release said thing. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Taurus, that's what I have for you guys for the month of August. Most definitely let me know what you think in the comments, my friend. And I'm going over to Vimeo, my website. I have to do this every time. Vimeo, my website, Patreon, and YouTube members to do you guys extended. So if you're about that life, follow me over there. But if not, I still love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later. And I'm still trying to figure out another way to say bye. I don't know if it's just bye, if it's peace and hair grease. That one sounds kind of cool. But not really, that is kind of lame. But if you have any ideas of how I should tell you goodbye, just